is the state of the land prior to the Zionist movement of Palestine, how occupied it was, how flourishing it was, how many people were there. I guess that's what how occupied it was means. But for instance, in one of your books, you cite Mark Twain's passage from his visit to Palestine, where it comes off as this very destitute, marshy, uncultivated land, whereas on the other side, I've encountered descriptions of it as just being this very densely inhabited, lush, cultivated landscape. And again, you have multiple groups citing different sources and different numbers, and it's very hard to adjudicate between the two as a non-expert.
Yeah, this is true. The Zionists claimed in the first half of the 20th century that the Turks who had ruled the country until 1917 and the Arabs who lived in the country had left it basically desolate. They hadn't cultivated properly, and along came the Zionist settlers and made the desert bloom. That was so in other words, that showed that the Zionists really cared about the place, whereas the Arabs and the Turks certainly were non-caring and non-productive. That's the propagandist image. The Arabs countered this with saying, no, there were lots of Arabs living there. They cultivated lots of land, and the Jews simply drove them out and inherited a very well preserved and very fecund agriculture. That's the way the Arabs present it. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. What is true is, and this is what's often forgotten, half the country, half of Palestine, within its British mandate borders, was wasteland, was the Negev desert. So basically, we're talking about a populated area which is north of Beersheba, north of Beersheba to the Lebanese frontier. That's the area which was properly inhabited. And it's true, some of it was marshland, especially in the coastal area. And it's true that some of the hilly area wasn't that arable. But there were people living there. We know the numbers. Here, there's no argument about the numbers of people living there. And you tell me if it was densely populated or not. There were 450,000 Arabs living in the country in 1881 before the Zionist settlers began to arrive from Eastern Europe. 450,000 Arabs and something like 30,000 Jews living in Palestine, all of them concentrated in that area from north of Beersheba to the Lebanese border. Today, that area from north of Beersheba to the Lebanese border probably contains something like 6, 7, 8 million people. So does the 450,000 mean that the place was empty? Well, they didn't feel it was empty, but people who like Mark Twain, who came along and saw that it wasn't like New York or Amsterdam, it wasn't really crowded. But on the other hand, it wasn't empty.